What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at OP03 Zoro. Now, this deck is a ton of fun. It's not the same style build as original Zoro. This is more event heavy. I did get this list from Card Kaizoku, and I wasn't sure where to start with OP3, so I'm going to take a look at his list, and we're going to use that as a starting point. And then as we go throughout the week, we'll talk about some techs and some other fun things that you can play. But starting off, we do have the original 4 Otama, 4 Nami, 4 Zoro. These are consistent cards that will probably always be in Zoro. Otama minus his characters, and you have Nami to search. Zoro is a 3-drop, but it's 5,000 power, so you can get a lot of benefit from it. We do have Edward Newgate. Now, Edward Newgate does let you pump yourself up to 7,000, and it's also a big attacker in the end game. But we're only playing 2 because there is other attackers that are better, and I will get to those. Next, we do have 4 Curly to Dawn. Curly to Dawn is just to search out the 1-drops, as there are more 1-drops to play. We do have 4 Makino just to buff some of the 1-drops that we do play, as well as Magra. We'll get to what Magra and Makino are best used for within this. We don't play Sunny anymore. And as we get later into the deck list, I'll hide my webcam. But we do have 4 Izo. Now, this is the new card from OP03. It's a 1-drop for 2,000, has a 1,000 counter. And you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you reveal 1 Whitebeard Pirate card other than Izo, and then put the rest of the cards on the bottom of the deck. So that means you can grab Whitebeard. And then we also play Buggy, where you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, you show 1 red event card, and you put it to your hand, and the rest go to the bottom of the deck. So really good at being able to search out events, which means that in late game you can actually survive better. If you're at 10 Dawn, you can play this for 1, find an event that's a 2 cost, and if you have more in your hand, keep going. So the next card we're going to talk about is what kind of replaces Edward Newgate, as well as Vista, as well as really anything else. So we do have Marco. Now, this is a Whitebeard Pirate, so it is searchable off Izo, and this Marco is great. The turn you play it, you can KO one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. It does not have to be rested, which means that it gets around a lot of really good things. And also, when it's KO'd, you can trash an event in your hand and then play it as rested. The good thing about this is that it has 6,000 power, so with Zoro's buff on the leader effect, you have a 7,000 attacker that you can always bring back as long as you have an event to discard. And this Marco is searchable by Izo, and then the events being searchable by Buggy. You always have counter in the late game, plus you also have a big attacker that can swing for a lot of damage. With Zoro's base, effect, you're swinging for 7,000. Your opponent usually has to dump between 2 to 3 cards, depending on how they're comboing it. Really good main attacker. And then we have 4 Brook, just a 2k counter that's searchable off Nami. And then for the events, we do have 2 Red Hawk. This is just so that way we have, some extra leeway when it comes to playing in the mirror match or anything like that. You can KO a character of 4,000 power or less while buffing yourself. And against weird decks, you can give minus 10,000 power. And then we do have 4 Radical Beam. This is just a 4k counter that is really good in the late game. And then we do have 4 Guard Point as well, just a quick 3k counter at any point in the game. So overall, I know that list was a little bit more defined compared to other ones, as we are almost 4 minutes in, but wanted to let you guys know about OP3. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you do enjoy it, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in tomorrow's Tech Tuesday. Alright guys, so we are playing the Edward Newgate Zoro matchup. We are playing Zoro in OP03. We do get a lot of fun new cards like Buggy and Marco. Marco's really good because we can discard events in order to replay it, so definitely is something good to try out. Now, we do have an event in our hand, so I think I'm fine to play the Curly, and Curly can grab us the Makino. We'll grab the Makino just so that way the turn that we play Buggy, we can start to kind of solidify a board. So our opponent is going to swing 8k. We are going to be forced to take that, and he does have 1 open. So looking at this, we can play Buggy for 1, and then we can swing 6k and leave 2 open. So we will grab the Guard Point, And we could swing 6 or we could swing 7. If we swing 7, it's going to force him to dump a 2k. But looking at this deck, he's probably going to play a lot of 2ks. So we're safe to swing for 6k. And we'll leave 2 open for the guard points. And if he chooses to swing first or play a character first, we do have the Red Hawk as well. So, and next turn we will be at 6, so we can play the Marco down. So he does swing for 6. Looking at this, I'll just get rid of an Otama. I'm not too worried about what he's gonna do. And as far as the Marco goes, we could Otama and then also KO the Marco, which sounds pretty good to me. So I think that's what we'll do. Should we do that? That's the question. He's going to be able to bring it back, but we are going to be able to have a very good turn next turn. So I think what we'll do is we'll just swing 6k just to have him burn a card from his hand, and then we'll just play the Marco down. And we'll play Marco, and there's no targets that we can get rid of, but I'm not too worried. At this point right now, it is just going to be an 8k swing, and it's going to be really critical on my opponent on how he wants to go about it. And next turn, we do have 8 Dawn, so we can leave Dawn open for a ton of fun plays. So he does swing 6k again. The 6k swing, we'll take this one. And then we do draw Rush Zoro as well, which is good. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll put a Dawn and we'll play down the Makino and we'll pump up Buggy. We'll do a 7k swing, force him to dump a 2k. So there's a 2k being dumped. We can do a 2, swing 6k. So he blocks to 7. We can go 6k once more. He is going to be able to drop the Edward Newgate next turn, which I'm not too worried about. So we can do a 7 into a 6 actually and thin his hand a lot, and then start to discard some other things when it comes to everything else. So I am fine with that. So we'll do a 6k swing. This is eventually going to burn more cards in his hand or burn the block. So, and we're going to have an 8k swing on top of that, which he probably is going to be forced to take. So he just dumps another card, and we are going to swing 8k. So he chooses to block, and he gets rid of a Jozu in order to bring back the Marco, which is fine. He is at 9, and if he chooses, okay, there's the Edward Newgate. So he is going to swing 8k at us. Now, as far as the 8k, we can block that, but I'm actually going to let this through just to see what we get. And if he chooses to, okay, so there's a 7k swing. We can just go here, and we'll just dump the Nami. So he only has 3 cards in hand, so we can actually start to get rid of a lot of cards on his board. So we can attach 1. And we can rest in order to pump the Buggy. Now Buggy is at 7k, so we'll just swing 7k on the Kingdu. Just start to allow him to get rid of some more cards in his hand. So we'll go, let's see, this is 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go a 7k swing again at the Kingdu. And then from here, we need to leave some Dawn open, just so that way we have stuff to work with as far as events go. So let's see, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 Dawn to work with. So we can definitely swing for, I should have put the Dawn there. I think we'll be fine with 2 guard points next turn. So if he has an ace, there's a chance that we could lose, but hold on, there's 2 Dawn on here. That's 5, 6, 7, that's 8. We can just do 8 into 8. So he takes. And then, let's see. I think we'll just pass here. We'll see what our opponent wants to do. Next turn, we should be able to win. So he plays a Kingdu down, spends 5 Dawn doing so. He's going to be able to pop the Makino if he chooses to. So there's a 12k swing. The 12k will take. Not too worried about the 12k swing. So he's just going to swing 7 at the Zoro. So we'll just burn a guard point, just so that way we have some continuous damage that we can do for the next turn. And now I think our best bet is to just start going for lethal. So we'll put 2 on the curly, we'll swing 6. So he chooses to block. And then we can swing for... we'll do an 8k swing, because that's going to force either 2 cards or 1 card out of his hand. So there's a rad beam. So this is a 6k swing. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could swing 12k. That would put him to 10, 12, 13, and then we still have a 6k swing, so we'd have to dump his whole hand in order to block that. So that sounds fine. So we'll just swing for 12, and then we have a 6k swing with Zoro. He's going to have to dump everything to go 10, 12, 14. So, and then we have the swing with Zoro. So overall, this deck's really fun. I'm still getting used to OP03. As I said, this is my first game in OP3, so I'm sure I made a couple misplays, but the overall essence of Zoro versus Whitebeard is the same. It's just nice because we do have a big attacker like Marco now that can come back on the KO, and also with this list we do play heavier events, so we can actually counter a lot more potentially. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you do enjoy it, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's Tech Tuesday.